Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris from New York, Westchester County. It's April 19th, 2018, and yeah, there's a couple of things I just want to bring up very quickly with you. I don't really want to get into what happened to me today, but I was unable to do a video this morning just because of some stuff at work. Nothing bad, just we ran into a little problem. But anyway, it's been taken care of, so we all are back on track. I've had some people, bots, paid, now threatening my well-being. And I just want people to know that, remember, we're not in 1985 anymore, okay? And most of you weren't even born then, but you see, when you were on, we used to have something called the party line, you know. Maybe it came out in the mid-'80s, and basically all it was just a bunch of people on the phone. We used to call this phone number, and like 100 people would be on there, and everybody talking over each other. It was a total disaster, but it was actually very popular. It was almost like being on a CB line, you know, pretty much. Only difference is you're on a telephone. Those were untrackable. You were a ghost on those, basically. You were anonymous. But on a computer, or on a cell phone, or on a handheld, any handheld device for that matter, there are IP addresses, and Google can look those up. And if there's a certain amount of threats that are being brought to you, you do have the power, especially here in New York, because they've already passed a law here about harassment and bullying over the internet. It's been a big thing for kids. To look up an IP address. And that IP address is just as good as having a driver's license, because it matches you up with that particular product you purchase. So just keep in mind, you guys that are putting those comments out to everyone, not only me, everybody has them. So, that's not the reason why I made this video. I actually made this video because I want you to, I'm going to have something else tomorrow. I usually do this on Fridays, but I'll have something else tomorrow. But today I want you to think about the I.S.S, okay? Yes, that's that big thing in the sky that they say there are people on, and that's orbiting our planet in 5,000 degree weather or temperature, you know, in this little piece of tinfoil. So we flat earthers know that does not exist, of course. It's just bullshit. But people actually do think it does exist, just like the little red car up there. What I want to get into is, when I mentioned that before about your IP address, this brings me on to a next segment of your cell phone. When people are about to get divorced, okay, or when they think their spouse is up to something behind their back, well, you know what they do? They track their phone. Yes, I checked my phone carrier, and apparently not only do they keep the conversations that you have on your phone for up to 30 days, they also keep your GPS location. And then you say, oh, well, I don't have my GPS on. Well, it doesn't matter, because 911 has it on all the time. Okay, they know whether you have that little thing on or not. Don't be fooled. Your GPS is on 24/7 the minute you power up that handheld device, and no matter what it is. So this brings me into the I.S.S. with the astronauts that are up there. Okay, since they're floating around there up in space, and they're actually very close to the satellites, don't you think? They're actually closer to the satellites than we'll ever get. But it's too bad, because satellites don't exist. But if they did, then they would be very close to them. As a matter of fact, they're probably one should be hitting the I.S.S. right about now. But they don't have any problems up there. You know, no meteor showers or micrometeors and all. They're just floating around up there like they're in somebody's home. They probably are, but anyway, my point is, the best way to track these people, okay, you never see them using a cell phone. They never have an iPad on them. You know, they got these little computers in the background and the CGI shit in the background and all that stuff. But they themselves are never physically holding any handheld device at all. But you know they have them. Okay. So I think anybody out there who's a FBI agent or some sort of operative agent, don't you think that person should maybe contact their cell phone carrier and try to pinpoint their GPS location and find out if they truly are floating around up there in space? I think somebody should do that. I think we should all sign a petition and ask them to prove to us that this thing is up there, which we know it's not, but prove to us flat earthers just by giving us a pinpoint GPS accurate location of all the astronauts that are up there, because if they would all have cell phones, they would all have their little handheld devices up there, and they're on, and they'd be able to prove, they'd be these little spots up there signifying that they're orbiting our planet. Okay, that's something that I think people should look into, really. But since flat earthers know this is a flat plane that we live on, there's probably a firmament up there, and there is no ISS. But then somebody's going to say, oh, well, we've got pictures of it. You have pictures of garbage. That's what you have pictures of. First off, the pictures that you're looking at don't even look like the ISS. And to begin with, there's not even one single satellite that's even passing by it. So, come on, really. This is just more shit that I think people should think about. GPS location of the astronauts, pinpoint them. Show me. I want to see on a map. I want Verizon, I want Sprint, I want whatever phone carrier that they're carrying. I want them to do a pinpoint location on all the astronauts. And that'll prove to flat earthers that there's actually something really up there. But we all know there isn't. And it'll never happen. And you can get any court-signed document you want, and that will never happen. So there's another thing to put to rest for the ISS. Look, I thank you for subbing. I thank you for viewing my videos. All right, I thank you for letting me be a part of your life. On Fridays, which is tomorrow, I like to give you something to think about over the weekend. All right, I think that's yeah. All right.